Well, I was born in Mooresville, which is about maybe 30 miles from here. I knew that the Abbey was here from a fairly young age because priests from the Abbey would come up to the church in Mooresville to say Mass during the summertime when the priest was on vacation. I didn't really think about vocation, really, until I was in college. I found it kind of interesting as I became more and more certain that God was calling me here. I became more and more afraid. And in fact, I describe it as a kind of a brick wall standing in front of me. And God's on the other side calling me over, and I don't really want to jump over. But there came a time when I knew that I had to. It might not work, but I knew I had to try it. And I think that's advice I would give to someone thinking about it too. Don't be afraid to try it. Well, interesting, actually. My father was Presbyterian, and he thought it was a great thing. My mother was Catholic, and she wasn't all that keen on it. I remember driving to the monastery when I came here for the first time to stay, and my father and I came together. He didn't say a word the whole time on the way down, so I never knew really what he was thinking. But I don't think he really minded. I never really questioned whether I was going to stay or not. I was pretty sure I would, but I did kind of feel like a fish out of water for a while. There was one time, it was on Ash Wednesday of all times, when I thought, right, if anybody were to walk into the room and offer me a cent to leave, I'd go. Certainly living in the community has brought me closer to God too. It's certainly rubbed off some of the rough edges, which I needed. I think St. Benedict says in the rule that we go to God with the help of a lot of brothers. I'm not sure that's a direct quotation, but the idea is there. As time went on, obviously I began to think about, okay, where do I fit into this? How do I offer myself in terms of the college? And I taught theology for, I think, 6 years. I enjoyed being registrar because I did get to work with the students. The only downside of that, I suppose, is that I rarely saw the good students. It was always the ones with problems that were in my office. But it was fun dealing with those too. So. And I think I was able to help some of them at least. So, it's been a sort of jack of all trades and master of none. Since they graduated too, alumni have, I guess I would say that I become their sort of spiritual advisor in a sense, but I see them at least every 2 weeks. All of us in the house who are priests have what I would call our sort of clientele in terms of they like this particular confessor or that one, as the case may be. So, yeah, and I do enjoy that very much. I didn't have all that good a feeling about fraternities, honestly, when I was asked to be co-moderator, but I thought, well, okay, we'll see what happens. So I enjoyed my time there. I learned a lot about fraternities and a lot about people who join fraternities. By and large, they were good students. They had to be in order to keep up their grades and still take part in fraternity life. So I would say, first of all, because you can get a good education here, and you will be educated in the full sense of the word, and you'll find a community here in the college as well as the monastery who are looking out for your best interests. So give it your best shot. Come here and give it your all. You'll leave a much better person than you arrive. I'm not convinced you can assess an outcome until maybe 5 or 10 years later, but I have seen students who came through here and who became extremely successful in every sense of the word.